Hey guys, it's Vicky. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be just me explaining to you how I got scammed on Poshmark and why I'm pissed at Poshmark. So if you'd like to see that, keep watching. Okay, so about a week and a half ago, I had a buyer come into my closet. Immediately this person started liking a ton of my items. And I remember looking at the name, and I'm going to call the name out because privacy can kiss my ass at this point. I don't care. This person scammed me, took my item, gave me some trash. So the person's name was Don't Run. And when I saw the name, I immediately started thinking, like, that's such a weird name. Like, don't run, you know, like you're being chased after somebody trying to kill you or something. You know, that's what popped into my head. Maybe I'm just weird. You know, whenever I saw that, that's what popped into my head. But anyway, so they were liking a ton of my items. I don't remember if they bundled the items, or if I had bundled their likes and sent them an offer. I don't remember. But regardless, this person purchased everything. It was just 3 items. Her total was like 30 bucks. Okay, so honestly, this is nothing to do with money whatsoever. I could care less about the money. When you look at it, I only lost $3. But it's the point that people are continually doing this, and there's people out there who do pay up for their items who are really getting screwed on, you know, the items they're losing. So just wanted to clarify that real quick. But anyway, so this person buys everything. A couple days goes by, all of a sudden I get that there's been a case opened on your bundle, and I'm like, okay. And I go into it, and she said that the Torrid top that I sent had a lot of pilling, and there was 2 holes on the sleeve, and that it was just completely unwearable, and she wanted to return that shirt. So anyway, she said there was a hole and that there was pilling, and I was like, okay, well, I always fabric shave everything that I send off. Maybe I just didn't do it good enough. And as for the holes, you know, I'm only human. I can miss things, you know, and apparently I either missed it or she purposely put it there. I don't know. But I don't deny returns. If my customer wants to return an item because it's not the color that they thought it was going to be, or it wasn't, you know, a certain thing, I will accept a return. But you better hope that you return the right item, or else you're going to get blocked and you're going to get called out, because I'm not having this with these scammers anymore. I'm done with it. But yeah, so I told Poshmark, I said, please, you know, let the buyer return the bundle. And I explained to her, I said, look, you can't just return the top. You purchased this in a bundle, you have to return all 3 items. And never heard anything back from her or Poshmark until the case was updated, and they said that it was pending return. And it was because I approved it. Okay, I did. I thought I was doing the right thing, you know. I guess I could have said no, but at the same time, there was a hole. And we all know how Poshmark is, you know, a buyer can get it, cut a hole in it, and say that we sent it to them like that, and guess what? We get screwed out of an item and money. So anyway, I went ahead and said, okay, she returns the item, right? So I get this box, okay, not the box that I sent it in, just some other box. And I go through, and the 2 t-shirts were in the box. And I'll also show you on the screen the items. Here's the Torrid top, and over here is the J. Crew top. And then right here is the BCBG Janata wool cashmere sweater. This retailed for about $250 to $300. I'm not sure. It's around that. Given I only paid $3 for it, I could have got a lot more. She got it for like 21 bucks. I could have got probably 50, 60 bucks out of it. But you know what? She caught me during a sale. That was on me, you know. But regardless, she didn't return that. She returned this cheap eyelash couture cardigan. It's got strings hanging out everywhere, holes. I'm just like, it's acrylic, gross. So yeah. So as soon as I opened it, like, my heart dropped into my stomach, and I was like, oh, no she didn't. Like, this is the first time I've ever been scammed. And let me explain. I've been selling on Poshmark for over a year, and I have had a couple cases open. Majority of them, it was settled, it was fine. We both got our money back. I think I have agreed to probably let 3 people return items And I ended up relisting them and they sold, and I haven't had any issues since. A lot of times it's because size, but people make up other excuses, and I'll try to talk about that a little bit later. But so I get it, and I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. You know, I have never had this happen. This is the first time. I've heard about it. I've read horror stories, but I was like, oh, you know, it's very, very, very rare, which it is. But yeah, so she scammed me on that. She sent back some shit. And I went to the settings underneath where it says that the item was being returned. And I opened a case and said there was a problem with the return, right? And I uploaded the photos, which apparently is not good enough for Poshmark. And I explained what happened. And then Poshmark, you know, they give you that friggin', what is it? The email they just send off to anybody who opens up a case, and just basically saying, oh, we'll be with you when we can, blah, 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 blah. And I was pissed. I was like, you know, this is pretty important, you know. And I go on Instagram and I explain what happened, and I tagged Poshmark in it. And about 2 hours later that night, Poshmark DM'd me on Instagram. They're like, we're sorry this happened. We'd like to fix it. What's your username? I was like, okay. I told them my username. And then they asked me if I would send an email to Poshmark support. And I explained to them, I said, I've already opened a case regarding this. I'm just waiting on you guys. And that was the last I heard from them. So I get this email the following day right here. And it's basically saying that they're sorry to hear that the buyer did not return the correct item, and that they're going to reach out to the buyer to have the buyer return the item. I was like, okay. They said they'd contact me, let me know what's going on, right? Well, then 2 days later, I'm looking through my sales, and I look at that one area where I had opened a case and she had the case, and it said canceled. And I was like, canceled? And I went and clicked it, and on the 31st, literally the same day that they had sent me the email saying they were going to contact the buyer, which is weird because I remember looking and it had updated to pending buyer return, even after the buyer had already returned. It was just a big mess, okay? I don't even want to get into that part because I started thinking maybe I'm crazy, but no, I'm not. I know what I saw. Anyway, so it had been canceled, and it said seller, you know, approved return, which was true. So I don't know. I guess it was they canceled that, right? So she had already returned that one. That one had been canceled. But I had opened a case regarding the return that I got. And that was completely gone, where, you know, usually you can review your cases, your case history, you can look at the photos, look at what the people said. There's nothing there for what I sent and what I said, nothing. So I was like, well, that's weird, you know, they're not going to like let me review that and comment on it, nothing. And then I went and I checked my email, and that's whenever I had got the happy face, angry face crap that they send, how, you know, blah, 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 we heard you had, you know what they send, that stupid little generic crap, right? So of course I did the angry face because I was like, this is bullshit. Like, they said they were going to contact the buyer, they were going to contact me to let me know what's going on. Nothing. I've heard nothing, right? So yes, I went on a rampage, and I went on Instagram, and I laid into that, and then I went to Twitter, then I went to Facebook. I've told everybody this buyer's name. I'm done. Like, I don't care anymore. Privacy can kiss my ass. You know, the buyer who scammed me's name is @Don'tRun. Put it right here in big letters. I don't care. I really don't care, because people like this are disgusting, and it makes me angry that people have the nerve to even do something like that. Like, I would not even dream of doing that, you know? Yes, if I wanted to be a disgusting human being, there's so many ways that I could scam people. But why would you want to do that? You know, why not work for what you want instead of trying to steal it from other people? It's just gross. And it makes me angry just thinking about it. So, anyway, let me try to get happier again. Okay. Anyway, so I talked to a bunch of people regarding this, and one person mentioned, she said that when she gets returns back, that she starts videotaping from the minute that she picks it up off the porch or from the USPS or wherever she gets her packages. I don't remember. She says she starts recording it from that moment. She records her opening it. She records everything that's inside of it, just in case, because she said that that has happened to her before. And I was like, okay, you know, I know this kind of stuff happens a lot on eBay. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos where people have opened up their returns and It's been horrible. And of course, I know Poshmark, there's going to be crooked, scammy people everywhere you go, even in real life. You never know. But it's gross and it's disgusting. And if you are one of those people who do it, get a life and stop doing it, because you're going to get caught eventually. If, you know, I had somebody say, oh, it's a federal offense because it's basically tampering with mail, which I don't really think is tampering with mail, because, you know, these are items that, I don't know. So I have decided that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start video recording any return that I get. Also, I'm going to start, of course, blocking anybody who is attempting to scam me or who has scammed me. I blocked this person. I'm not the type of person to go and start. First of all, you couldn't really, I mean, if I wanted to go into the bundles on her page and comment to her, I would have done that, but I'm not the type of person. I do like to avoid as much conflict as possible, and you know, she knows what she did. I don't have to tell her what she did. She knows exactly what she did, you know, so I'm not going to go and tell her that. Let her freaking figure out for herself. I've had multiple people ask me for her username because they want to block her, and I don't blame them, and I've given them the username because it's not fair. You know, if it was a simple mistake, something would have been done. It was not a simple mistake. She knew that that was a very nice and very expensive sweater. She got a great deal on to begin with. I don't know why she would just want to steal it like that, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so I will be recording any return that I get back. First things first, I'm going to make sure that my items are in pristine condition, so I don't have to even worry about somebody opening up a return. But as always, you know, you cannot control what these people are going to do. You're selling to crazy people. You're selling to sane people. You just don't know who you're selling to. And if they want to damage an item and say that it came to them like that, they're going to do that. If they want to take an item out of a box and say there's no item in the box, they can do that. And a lot of times they will get away with it. And they'll get their money back. Yeah, you might get your money back too. But just to, you know, think about it. Like, they're getting money back and keeping an eye. It's just, it's gross. I hate it so much. But yeah, I'm not going to quit Poshmark. I don't know. I was pissy the other day and I was like, you know, I'm just done. I'm really considering moving to another platform. And you know, my overall goal is to have my own online store, which one day I will do that. Maybe. But not anytime soon. You know, I'm trying to really learn. I'm still learning. I've only been doing this a year. You know, I've resold like hard goods. But reselling clothing is a lot different than just reselling a glass or a bell or something. You know, it's like there's a little more that goes into it, because you're selling things online that people can't try on. You have to make sure that you get your measurements right, and that some people are very picky about how the material feels. There's just so many things that you need to put into your descriptions, but how do you explain some of those things, you know? Like, that's where I kind of don't describe things, because I don't really know how to describe certain things, and that's where I fail, and I need to work on that. But you know, if you've seen my earlier video about how to prevent losing a case, it all ties in together. You know, making sure you have measurements, having good photos, maybe even a close-up of the material just to show that there is no pilling. I did that for a while, and I guess I kind of quit doing that, and I need to start doing it again. You know, explaining if there's a hole, put that in the description. You know, these things need to be in there. And of course, we're all human. We make mistakes. Sometimes there's a hole so small you can't see it, but one way to really be able to tell is to hold it up to light. You'll be able to see it. That's what I've been having to do here lately, and it seems to work very well. Why that top has 2 holes in it is beyond me. But I mean, maybe I did miss it. I don't know. But anyway, I think that's it for this video. I am gonna go start listing some more items, and that's about it. So I will talk to you all in my next video. If you've had the same situation happen in the past, I would love to hear what your outcome was. Did Poshmark side with the person who kept your item? You know, a lot of the things I'm hearing, Poshmark just doesn't care. It's kind of like eBay, you know, it's just like, you know, screw the seller, the people who made them. Who cares about y'all? You know, without sellers, you wouldn't have buyers, and without buyers, you would have no money. So keep that in mind, Poshmark. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all in my next video. Have a great night. Bye.